In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the Star Wars The Vintage Collection Tusken Raider. Hi there Star Wars collectors, and welcome to another Bossk Bounty video. And in this video, as I mentioned in the intro, we're going to be taking a look at the Star Wars The Vintage Collection Tusken Raider that's been released as part of the 50th anniversary of Lucasfilm, as you can see here, part of the second wave of figures. And we're also going to be comparing him against this figure here. So we are going to be opening this one, and I'm going to be comparing him against this one, which is actually the 3.75 inch Black Series version that was released in those red and black boxes. But it is pretty much a repack of this guy. Slightly different paint apps on the head there that we can see. But we're going to compare all three. But first of all, let's clear the desk and take a look at the brand new one first of all. Alright then, so we've got the card back here, and as you can see, we've got the 50th anniversary logo in the corner there. We've got Tusken Raider written in the name pill, not Sand People, which is a change. And we've got these classic Star Wars racetrack design with the image of the Tusken Raider or Sand People, whatever you want to call him, on the card back there. Really nice card back here. People that watch my channel will know that I'm not really a massive fan of the way they've put that logo, but it is what it is. And of course, these are the Walmart exclusives. And there he is in the bubble, looking pretty cool. Same green name pill as before. Back of the card, we have him on a VC199, so it'll be interesting to know who's going to be VC200. My money's on the Emperor. And the other two from the line of this particular wave, we've got the Luke Skywalker Endor, which is probably the one that I want most out of this wave to review, and the Death Star droid there. There's the timeline. No mentions of droids or the original Clone Wars series on these card backs because they were produced before those new card backs were made that we haven't even got yet from those sort of animated style Clone Wars figures. But there he is. Let's just quickly bring in the original card back in shot here so we can compare them very quickly. You can see that this one on the left hand side, the image has been brightened up somewhat. This one is a little bit sort of cloudy and I don't know, maybe this one's a bit overexposed. I don't know what they've done to it. But this one is probably closer to the original vintage Kenner line, I would say, especially with the name pill as well, saying Sand People there. And there they are there. I mean, I'm pretty certain that it's a brand new head sculpt on this one. And we'll have to see if it's, you know, an improvement. I'm not too sure if it is. But apart from that, this one's going to have the ball jointed elbows, whereas this one only had the swivel elbows. So it is an improvement in that case. There's the back of the cards. Of course, with the Vintage Saga collection, this was released in 2006. And they always put that sort of history lesson on the back there with the original figure and how he looked, which is awesome. So judging by that picture there, it actually shows that perhaps that image is more accurate to that, I would say. I think the colours are a bit more spot on. Of course, Sand People in the name pill, but we've gone with Tusken Raider on this one. But there you go. They're the differences. Of course, this one unpunched. They don't do that anymore. But yeah. Anyway, we're going to be opening up this one now, checking out the figure, and then I'm going to be comparing him against the 3.75 inch Black Series to check out the improvements and possibly even things that maybe aren't an improvement and they've maybe gone a bit backwards. But let's check it out anyway, get the figure out and take a look. Alright then, so here he is out of the packaging, and I've got to say, immediately I have a bit of an issue with this figure, and it's to do with the head. Now, it could just be my sample that's not quite right, but basically I just cannot move the head of the figure. I've tried. It looks to be on like quite a large ball there that it sits on, but I don't know. It doesn't seem to want to move, and I don't want to force it anymore, so I might have to get it into boiling water. So any of you guys that have got this figure, or when you get this figure, let me know in the comment section below if yours does the same as that. You can just see the hinges there on the elbows, the new hinges, so we're going to compare that in a second to the other figure, but there he is in that sort of famous pose anyway. And the soft good robes are quite good. They're not too baggy. They do feel fairly similar to the previous ones, but a slightly different darker grey, but we're going to compare them in a second again. And if we open up the soft goods there, you can see that he also has the soft goods skirt with some detailing on his belt and these pouches on his like bandolier type thing. So he's looking pretty cool. Back of the figure there, you can see the back straps of the bandolier. Okay then, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take these soft goods off, bring in the other figure, and then we can compare the figures to really see the improvements that they've made in terms of the articulation and paintwork and things like that. So there he is. Let's do that now. Okay, then here's the figures side by side, and you can see that there is definitely a different head sculpt there, completely different. And I quite like that because at the end of the day, not all of the Tusken Raiders look the same. You know, all the Sand People, there was different ones. And essentially, it's nice to have both of these in the collection now. So they are different. Apart from that, the body is very similar indeed. If we look at the side of the figure there, you can see the paintwork on this one. The hinges stand out a mile, whereas on this one, they've been painted the same colour, which is good. We now have the elbow articulation, whereas this guy always had those swivel elbows, and you can even see the joint coming away there. Big gap, swiveling away. Whereas with this one, they've incorporated the hinge very nicely with the elbow and the sort of garment that comes down. You can just see it bend there. So that's pretty cool. I do like the way they've done that. This version here desperately needed those hinged elbows to bring it up to standard with sort of today's figures. But as I said, look, totally different heads there. This one's almost of a grey colour, whereas this one's like a sandy colour. And the sculpts are different as well. But as I said, I do like that. I like that I've got different ones. When we saw the original images of this guy, some people thought his head was too fat. Having the figure in hand, I don't think it is. And I think with all the detailing on there and everything, it looks pretty good with all like the wrappings and everything. I think they've brought out the detail quite well. If we look at the side of that head, comparing it, they are different. So as I say, I like that. I do like that. Paintwork is very similar on the bandoliers and on the belt. Not too much difference there. And I think the skirt on the new one has been tapered in a little bit. It's not so flary. So that's an improvement as well. Now, as I mentioned before with the articulation, I can't move this guy's head. You can see there that it is on a ball, but I can't move it. It is fixed on there, and moving it will actually bend the neck plastic, which I don't want to do. So I'm not really too sure what's happened there. I'm going to have to get it in some boiling water and see what I can do with it. I think if it did move, it would have full range of motion. And yeah, the more I look at that head, the more I like it. It's pretty good. But in terms of articulation, on the actual figure, we have the ball jointed shoulders. We now have the ball jointed elbows. We still have these swivel wrists. We have a swivel at the waist, although not too much, because obviously you don't really want to be tearing this out of place. And then if we move the skirt up, we have the knee joints and the ankle, which is on a hinge. Now, when we compare the accessories, this is the new gaffy stick, and I've got to say the plastic is a lot bendier and cheaper than the previous version. This one really is bendy, which isn't so good. Here's the original one, and it feels a lot more sturdy. Still quite bendy, but a lot more sturdy. This plastic here is really bendy, which is a shame. But the paintwork on it is pretty much the same. You've basically got one half of it black, and then you've got that silver piece on the end. Very similar to the original one. And let's just check, make sure they're the same length. Yeah, the new one seems to be ever so slightly longer, but bendier. You also get their rifle, which looks a bit bent to me as well. That's going to need straightening out at the bottom there, just there. So again, a bit of boiling water will probably fix that. But again, it's because of the plastic they're using. It's a little bit bendy. But I've got to say, I do like the silver paintwork that they've done on this. There's silver all the way along it. You've got the barrel and then some nice detailing on the stock of the rifle there and on the back of it as well. So looks pretty good to me. Let's put the soft goods back onto the Tusken Raider and check him out and see what he looks like complete. Alright then, so in my reviews there is no hiding quality issues, and basically I've just tried swiveling his hand slightly so I could get the blaster rifle into the hand, into some kind of posing, and the pin has snapped. So you can see the remainder of the pin in there. That pin's there. So I've got a feeling it's a bit like the head. The joints are stuck. And, you know, just trying to twist it just a little bit to go round. And the pin has snapped. So be very careful with yours, obviously, when you are doing that. I'm just going to have to glue that back in now. And basically, he's going to have his hand set in one position. I'll probably have the gaffy stick in there or something. But that's a bit unfortunate. Same with this hand. If I try to swivel it, it doesn't want to swivel on the joint, and if I swivel that anymore, it'll probably snap it as well, which is very unfortunate. Hopefully this is just my sample and those quality control issues aren't something that's going to be a case across all of the figures. Hopefully it's just mine. I do have another couple of these on pre-order from another source, so I will be opening one of those, and hopefully, you know, those quality control issues won't be there. But that's a bit of a shame. As I said, it could be just my sample, but just be wary of that when you are posing your figure. Alright then guys, that's it for this review. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching as usual, and we shall see you on the next one.